un cyclone avec inondation, avec marée tempête, vous devez gagner plan évacuation qui déjà paré. Quand Miami-Dade fait en sorte que vous êtes capable de vérifier carte qui gagne zone ça la donne miamidade.gov /OEM. Puis bon, dans l'année, vous êtes censé recevoir par la poste un guide pour capable préparer pour cyclone. Vous êtes capable de télécharger le guide ça dans miamidade.gov et information disponible dans l'anglais espagnol avec créole haïtien. Vous êtes capable de télécharger l'application gratis noire qui est Ready Miami-Dade. Et puis finalement, en temps pris, vous êtes capable d'inscrire tout, vous êtes capable de gagner alerte Miami-Dade. Merci pile et puis rester en sécurité.
Thank you so much, Lionel. Okay, so before we get to questions, I want to repeat that we are going to be taking questions on the storm. And by the way, go ahead and start raising your hands if you have storm questions first, okay? We're going to do storm questions first, and we can take those English and Spanish mixed up. And then if you have questions on other topics, we'll do that once we're done with the storm prep questions, okay? I'm going to say that again also in Spanish. Por favor, vamos a primero contestar preguntas sobre los preparativos para la tormenta tropical y una vez que hemos terminado con eso en inglés y en español, entonces el alcalde puede contestar preguntas sobre otros temas, si ustedes tienen preguntas sobre otros temas. Empezamos ahora y por favor levanten las manos ahí en el Zoom con las preguntas sobre la tormenta. And
I want to say, before you go on, I want to make sure that everybody, recognizes that. I know that Commissioner Sally Hayman has joined us, and also Commissioner Eileen Higgins has joined us as well.
And Commissioner Monesteem I saw on here as well, sir.
Okay, very good.
Okay, so welcome to all the commissioners. And we're going to go ahead and get going now with questions on the tropical storm preps. We'll go out to Jenny Staletovich from WLRN first. Jenny?
Hi, thank you. I just wanted to clarify, I think I heard the mayor said you expect 3 to 4 inches of flooding, or do you mean 3 to 4 inches of rain?
Rain, 3 or 4 inches of rain. It all really depends on which side of the storm we get. If we actually get the west side of the storm, we're expecting a lot less rain. So it really all depends on the track and which side of the storm we get. So obviously the eastern side of the storm is the wetter, the more stormy side. The western part of the storm at this point appears to be a lot drier.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Okay, I have María Alesia Sosa, Univisión. Estás en mute todavía, María Alesia.
¿Cómo está, alcalde? Muy buenas tardes.
Buenas.
Quería preguntarle cuál es el plan del condado, tomando en cuenta que los hospitales están, algunos de ellos a capacidad. Si hay algún plan para mover las personas o pacientes que en sus casas tengan un respirador o cualquier tipo de instrumento eléctrico que necesiten para vivir y se les vaya la electricidad o el servicio eléctrico, ¿qué plan tiene el condado para eso? Tomando en cuenta que los hospitales están full.
Estamos llamando ahora a esas personas que tenemos en nuestra lista si desean evacuación y también si están disponibles a tener un examen de COVID-19. Estamos trabajando con nuestros hospitales y esperamos que cualquier persona que necesita un transporte al hospital porque tiene miedo que se le va a perder la electricidad, le podamos entonces rendir ese servicio y llevarlo a los hospitales.
¿Cómo se pueden comunicar o qué tiene que hacer la gente? ¿Llamar a dónde para?
Sí, normalmente esas personas ya tenemos nosotros las listas de esas personas, como 2,000 personas en esta comunidad. Tenemos esas listas, estamos llamando a todas esas personas ahora y entonces ellos nos están indicando si necesitan transporte o no. Y entonces si necesitan transporte, nosotros vamos a cumplir con eso mañana. Déjame preguntar esto al Frank Rawlinson, que es el director. Frank, they talked about the folks that need that are electricity dependent, and I told them that we are calling everyone that's on our list. I guess the question is, if you're not on the list, how can you get on the list at this point?
They can call in to 311, and they will get them connected to where they can get on the list. And at this point, we have out of the total 2,200 or so that are on the list as electric dependent, we have only 189 that have indicated that they would want to be transported at this point in time.
Okay, en español, si quiere estar en la lista, por favor llame al 311 para ponerse en la lista. De los 2,200 personas que están en la lista, nada más que alrededor de 200 personas han indicado que necesitan transporte al hospital.
Gracias, alcalde. Natalia Ortiz, CBS 4.
Hi, can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Yes? I'm in VC6, by the way.
I'm sorry,
Yes,
Natalia.
that's okay. Mayor, I wanted to ask you, storm preparation county for this particular storm may be or may not be different because we are in the middle of a pandemic.
Sorry, you kind of broke up. What's the first part of this question?
I was wondering if the storm preparations for this storm by way of the county, are there any differences? Is there anything else you're taking into account because of the fact that we are in a pandemic?
Yeah, obviously we have to have more space per person. So we're going to have to open more shelters because of the social distancing. We're going to have masks. We're going to have hand sanitizers. We're going to take other preparations like if you do have to go to a shelter, normally we will feed you in a cafeteria style. We won't be feeding you in a cafeteria style, this year. So there are a lot of differences in the way that we'll be sheltering this year because of COVID-19.
Thank you, Mayor. To Telemundo 51.
Sí, alcalde, básicamente mi pregunta estaba relacionada.
No se te escucha.
No se te escucha, perdón.
Parece que se congeló la imagen y la conexión. Okay, we'll wait for him to reconnect. Anybody else have a question that is storm related in English? Okay, Brian Enton.
Hi, Mayor, is there any concern that it would take longer to restore power even with a tropical storm because of the pandemic? We've heard from FPL in the past that they're concerned about social distancing and getting crews from other states.
That could be a concern. I haven't heard that from FPL. We need to talk to FPL about it. But that could be a concern because of the social distancing and keeping crews apart, et cetera, that, you may have a delay in getting power back. And so that's something we need to discuss with FPL. But that could be a valid concern.
I have a question. There's no plan to open shelters, correct?
At this point, no. We've got 20 shelters on basically a standby. We've sent the equipment that's needed to open them, but at this point, we're not opening them yet. We will have another one of these conferences tomorrow at 9 o'clock when we get further information and we have a better idea of where the storm is going to keep the residents informed of what we're doing. And at that time, we may pull the trigger on opening some shelters, depending on, again, the forecast strength and the direction, if it's going to hit Miami-Dade or not. I mean, that's we open the number of shelters we think are necessary by the strength of the storm and the direction from which it's coming from.
Thank you, Mayor. Okay, I don't see any more raised hands on the actual Zoom. Does anybody else have a question that is storm related? Or anyone? Go ahead and open it up to questions on other topics. So those of you who have questions on those topics, raise your hand. Go out to Josephine Fuller.
Good afternoon, Mayor. My question, due to the labs shutting down today, I know that not all of them are shutting down today, some of them are shutting down tomorrow. Is this going to cause a delay in test results for people who are testing?
I don't believe it will, but it all depends on the storm. If it's going to start to affect the labs, they may be closing down, for a day or two. It all depends on the storm, if it becomes a direct hit or not. And so it may. Really, it all depends on the trajectory of the storm.
Thank you. Out to Ana Cuervo, Telemundo.
Gracias, alcalde. Hubo una conferencia de prensa esta mañana con varios alcaldes de la Liga de Ciudades. Habló el alcalde de Coral Gables, de Hialeah, de Doral, de Miami.
Anna, you're freezing up a little bit.
Anna, you froze.
Yeah. We're having a connection issue there.
Para
Okay.
ayudar a sus
Oh, there
residentes.
she is. Okay, Anna, you froze up. Your audio and your video froze up, so we didn't hear your question.
Okay. ¿Ahora me escuchan?
Sí.
Sí.
Sobre la conferencia de prensa de la Liga de Ciudades, esta mañana hubo varios alcaldes de Doral, Coral Gables, Hialeah, Miami, todos muy consternados por la forma en que se está distribuyendo los 474 millones de dólares de fondos federales por el coronavirus. Ellos creen que las ciudades deben recibir esos fondos para ellos mejor decidir cómo sus residentes necesitan esa asistencia. ¿Cómo responde a eso?
Bueno, primero, la única entidad aquí es el condado de Miami-Dade, representa a todos los residentes de toda la comunidad, incluyendo todos los residentes de los municipios. Así, este dinero se llegó al condado de Miami-Dade. El Miami-Dade está responsable por ese dinero. Así que el proceso que se ha establecido es que nosotros tenemos recomendaciones y también es la Junta del condado de Miami-Dade dan ese dinero para diferentes programas en todo el condado. Lo que le puedo decir a los alcaldes es que vamos a hablar simplemente, mira, no le vamos a dar un cheque blanco. Ellos tienen que someter sus recibos a nosotros para asegurar que lo que están haciendo, las medidas que están tomando son elegibles para estos dineros, porque al final es el condado de Miami-Dade que es responsable por el dinero que nos dio el gobierno federal. Y el gobierno estatal nos dio el dinero al condado de Miami-Dade. Yo nunca he estado en ningún tipo de ciudad preguntando o pidiendo que tenía que ser parte de un proceso para que ellos gastaran su propio dinero. Este dinero es el del condado de Miami-Dade para todos los residentes del condado de Miami-Dade. No son para los gobiernos del condado de Miami-Dade, son para los residentes, el pueblo del condado de Miami-Dade. Y es la comisión y también el condado de Miami-Dade que está dirigiendo en qué manera se va a gastar para el beneficio de todo el condado de Miami-Dade, todos los residentes que viven en las ciudades y los residentes que no viven en las ciudades.
Gracias, alcalde. Okay, let us go now to Daniel Chang with the Miami Herald.
Hi, guys.
Yes, we hear you. Go ahead.
Great. Hi. Hey, Mayor, thanks for taking the questions and having the call. Mayor, I wanted to ask you about contact tracing again. When we spoke a few days ago here on the press gaggle, you mentioned that 30% of cases were from the home. And I was wondering, what was the source for that? And what sort of information are you getting from contact tracing from the Department of Health? Like, do you know how many more contact tracers are on the ground in Miami-Dade County? And ultimately, can you tell us what exactly is Miami-Dade getting for the $14 million it has committed to that effort?
Well, it's going to take a time for them to gear up and hire all 250 contact tracers for Miami-Dade that we're paying for the Department of Health. We do get information from the Department of Health. We got some information today on information that they've gotten from contact tracing. And it appears, yes, that there is a good chunk of the people that are getting infected at home. The second leading cause is unknown. And so, the contact tracing will be much more effective once we get the contagion level down. And the good thing is trying to get the contact tracers now on board so that when the contagion level goes down, their work will be much more effective.
Can we get a copy of the information that the health department shares with the county?
You can all that information I'm sure is public record. So I can get Jennifer Moon, our deputy mayor, to give you the information that we heard today about from the Department of Health on what the findings of the contact tracing are so far.
Thank you, sir. Okay, we have Doricel Alvarado with TVV. Doricel.
Hola, buenas tardes, alcalde. Alcalde,
Buenas tardes.
En primer lugar quisiera ver si nos pudiera hablar acerca de las cifras hasta ahora del coronavirus, cómo está la situación en los hospitales, y en segundo lugar, si puede repetir lo de cuántos shelters tienen preparados por una posible evacuación, y sobre todo de las zonas que son zonas de ay Dios mío, inundación.
Sí.
Sí, entonces para que nos hable sobre esos dos temas, por favor. Gracias.
Ahora no tenemos ningún tipo de zona de evacuación porque es una tormenta tropical y no sabemos si nos va a dar o si no, si viene para acá o si no. Así que todo depende de dónde va la tormenta en el próximo 24 de 36 horas. No hay ningún plan para ahora hacer una orden de evacuación. Eso puede cambiar a cualquier momento, depende de la trayectoria de la tormenta, también la fuerza de la tormenta. Estamos preparando, poniendo en ¿cómo se llama? En alerta 20 diferentes refugios aquí en los shelters en el condado de Miami-Dade. Así, ¿cuál es la primera pregunta? ¿Otra vez?
La situación en los hospitales y también sobre el número de muertos que se registraron hoy, que es un nuevo récord. Esta semana se han roto 3 récords de muertes diarias.
Sí, eso, mira, los números de personas que están entrando, están en el hospital, están bajando y se ha estabilizado del alto de 2.300 personas que estaban en el hospital. Yo creo que hoy en día estamos en como 2.050 personas que están en el hospital, pero lo que va a seguir subiendo es las personas que van en los cuartos de cuidado intensivo, porque esto sigue. Porque primero vas al hospital y después, si no te mejora, vas a los cuartos de cuidado intensivo. Si no te mejora, entonces vas a los respiradores, los ventiladores. Así que esos números van a seguir subiendo. Yo creo que por un rato el uso de cuartos de cuidado intensivo y también los ventiladores. Y lamentablemente la última cosa es las personas que están falleciendo. Así que si tienes más personas que están en ventiladores, vas a ver más y más personas que van a fallecer, pero la buena noticia es que estamos viendo menos personas entrando en el hospital, que quiere decir que esperamos que estos números también se van a mejorar en el futuro, pero no quiere decir que podemos cuidar, tener la falta de cuidar. Tenemos que utilizar las máscaras, lavarnos las manos, mantener la distancia. Nosotros tenemos que tomar responsabilidad personal para seguir esta tendencia de empezar a bajar estos números y también bajar el número de positivos, el porcentaje de positivos de todos los exámenes que estamos tomando aquí en el condado.
Thank you. Doug Hanks with the Herald.
Thank you, Mayor. So, Mayor, what are you willing to do, or what's the next step in this dispute with the cities over the CARES Act? Do you consider it a resolved issue with the 30 million? Or are talks still happening, and maybe that would go higher?
No, look, that's a number that was put in there when we thought that's what the cities would need to get reimbursed for the programs that they have undertaken or will be undertaken. But that number can move up, the number can move down. Remember, also we want to do is we want to make sure that they're leveraging as much of this money as possible, because a lot of the activities that the cities are doing are actually FEMA eligible. And so we want to make sure that this money is used as the match for the FEMA money. They can get another 80% on their activities. And so what we're asking the cities to do is simply, talk to us, which they haven't talked to us since Monday. They won't even answer our call. And so they have plenty of time to do press conferences, but they won't even answer our call to talk to us about what it is they're doing, what they want to do, and how we can help them. Remember, we will reimburse them for those things that are COVID-related and reimbursable with the CARES Act. We'll be happy to do that. We are in discussions with a number of those cities on how, on their invoices, and we will be happy to pay those invoices if it's COVID-related and eligible expenses. What we will not do is we will not sign a blank check to cities. That's not something we're going to do. This money was given to Miami-Dade County. We're going to safeguard that money. This money was given to Miami-Dade County for all the residents of Miami-Dade County. It wasn't given for the governments of Miami-Dade County. It was given for the residents of Miami-Dade County. And we're going to make sure that Miami-Dade County serves the greatest number of residents possible with the use of that money.
And who isn't calling you back?
The League of Cities hasn't called us back since Monday. We've been trying to get a meeting with the League of Cities since Monday. They won't even return my secretary's call, my assistant's call. So, they complain a lot, and they have a lot of press conferences, and they call me names and all that. But look, hey, we need to get we need to grow up a little bit and let's start talking. You know, the insults are not going to get us anywhere. I guess the next thing they're going to do is they're going to double dog dare me or something. But, you know, it's not something that's productive. Let's talk and let's work this out. But again, that money is, there's no going to be no blank check given to any city, because at the end, Miami-Dade County is responsible for that money. And if they're somehow misspent, it's Miami-Dade County that has to pay it back. And that's, and we're going to save part of the money.
Thank you, Mayor. Jenny, I see your hand up. I don't know if that was up from before, if you had another question. Jenny Staletovich.
Yeah, that was from before, but actually now that you've called on me, how many contact tracers are there in the county?
Jennifer, do you have the answer for that?
Yes, sir. As of the end of last week, there were 310. I have not seen an update since last Friday, but I will reach out to the Department of Health on those other in the information that we got this morning as well, that they told us verbally about the results of the contact tracing.
Thank you. Do we have any other questions, either in English or Spanish? I see Brian Ensign with WGN. Go ahead, Brian.
Mayor, are you concerned that there are sick people who now won't be able to get tested for COVID because the sites are closing? And was there an alternative, possibly moving some of the sites indoors?
No, we're not. That's not really an alternative right now. And so if it closes, it'll close for a day or two, I believe. My concern about it, look, the greatest concern, the immediate threat is the storm. We have to close those sites down for safety reasons. And then put them back up as soon as we can.
Thank you, Mayor. Any other questions? ¿Alguna otra pregunta para el alcalde? Okay.
Just one quick follow-up.
I thought I heard Doug Hanks in the
Yeah,
background.
just real quick. You had said Monday, Mayor, that you could get us daily reports on the lag and testing results. I was wondering if that was
Yes. That's right, Jennifer. We need to put that on the dashboard. Okay?
It is. It's on today's dashboard, Doug.
Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
And I see Josie Barroso from the Florida channel, I think, was trying to chime in.
Yes, this is Josie Barroso. I haven't heard any necessarily concrete plans for shelters, but in the case that there has to be emergency shelters that pop up, what is the plan for accommodating anyone who is COVID-19 positive who may need to evacuate?
Okay, that's a good question. And Frank Rollison, can you answer that for me, please?
All right, so as the people arrive at the evacuation centers, they'll be screened, asked if they have any particular signs or symptoms. Their temperature will be taken. And if they present to us with a particular problem, or if they've been cohabitating with somebody that is positive and has that exposure, we will isolate them away from the general population in the evacuation center by utilizing school classrooms. We don't usually use school classrooms, but we worked out with the school administration to be able to have the classrooms. And I found out yesterday that as they prepare classrooms, not knowing exactly what's going to happen as far as in the opening goes, that they have spaced out the desks in such a way that there is plenty of room in these classrooms. There's 6 feet between the desks, that we would be able to have people that have to be in there either sitting at a desk or laying on the floor or on their cot or their mat or whatever. So we have space that we'll be able to separate these people inside the units. And we will also be providing PPE with masks and hand sanitizers, and a lot of cleaning will be going on while they're in there with the restrooms and so forth.
Thank you, Director Rollison. Any other questions for the mayor or the director?
Si nos puede dar esa respuesta en español también sobre cómo, pues, de alguna manera dar shelter a personas positivas con COVID.
Lo que dijo el director es que hay las aulas en las escuelas que antes nosotros no estábamos utilizando, siempre estábamos utilizando los espacios públicos como gimnasios y cafeterías en los colegios para el refugio. También ahora se puede usar las aulas que están separadas para las personas que son positivas para el COVID-19.
Gracias, alcalde. Okay, last call for questions, English, Spanish, anyone? Okay, that'll do it. Thank you so much, everyone, for being here, the chairwoman, all the commissioners that are here.
We will,
so much,
we will
Mayor.
be back tomorrow at 9 o'clock with an update. And so hope to see you then. And hope this storm just goes away.
Yes, let's hope. Good afternoon, everybody.